Hi everyone, I want to welcome you to the first Jam Advertising and Marketing short webinar. And today's topic is going to be on networking. So I have a lot of business development clients who absolutely hate networking. And it just doesn't come natural to some people, and that's okay. That's a personality side of things, but it's also a comfort level of the type of events you're going to. So I've got a few simple steps that I want to take everybody through when it comes to networking at events, and I hope that they're helpful. I'll write them down afterwards and send everybody an email who's participated in this with them, so no need to scribble furiously. First of all, the first tip is really, why are you going to the event in the first place? Is it because somebody's invited you? Is it because it's something that you feel that you should do? Are you under pressure at work to go to networking events? Whatever it is, establish why it is that you're going there. If you can't come up with a compelling reason, you really don't think it's the right event, then you really need to be looking somewhere else. So first and foremost, why are you going? Secondly, who do you know is going to be there? If there's somebody that you can connect with, that you're happy to kind of piggyback along with, it might be somebody who you've met previously, it might be somebody who maybe you're linked in with on LinkedIn, an ex-colleague, a potential client, a referrer, whoever it is, make sure that you send them an email or get in contact with them prior and say, look, I'm really looking forward to seeing that you're attending this event, looking forward to catching up with you, and let's have a drink or meet up prior, so that you've got somebody there. What that means is when you're actually at the event, when you're meeting new people, you can say, look, my name's Marissa Marshke, I work at Jam Advertising. This is my colleague, Paul. He's a great business strategist. He really works closely with companies that are aligned with XYZ. And it's a way of kind of breaking the ice between two people as well. So it gives you another person to talk about if you're not comfortable talking about yourself. And hopefully Paul will then say the same thing about you and talk about your expertise. So it's a good way to cross-sell with somebody else. So then we're meeting people, we're doing a bit of a mingle. Be mindful of looking out for signs when it comes to networking. So if you kind of see that somebody's getting a little bit uncomfortable, looking away, really disengaging in that conversation, then it's time to call it quits with that particular person. Don't force a conversation. So if that's the case, just politely excuse yourself by saying, look, I'm going to head to the bar. Would anybody like a drink? Or I'm going to go take my seat. It looks like everything's getting going. Or oh, look, I see there's some collateral. I'd just like to go have a look at. It was really nice talking to you. So whatever it is that you can do to, I guess, get away politely is always a really great thing, to not extend the conversation out longer than what it needs to be. That often creates the uncomfortable part of networking. So the next step is to not drink too much. And often nerves can get in the way of how quickly we might tip back the champagne or the wine or the beers. So just make sure that you're keeping an eye on that, because the last thing you want to be, and the brand for your business is stumbling out. And I think that's a no-brainer, but we've all been to networking events where maybe somebody's tripped over, made a bit of a fool of themselves, and everybody talks about it. So it can be a bit uncomfortable. The next tip is, when you're gathering business cards, make sure that you have your own there. That's always an important part. The worst thing you can do is turn up to a networking event without business cards, even in this day and age. But make sure you're keeping the business cards that you are grabbing close by, because I'm going to talk about follow-up. If somebody doesn't have a business card with them, ask them if they're comfortable connecting with you on LinkedIn, and do it right there on the spot. It shows that you're instantly engaged with that person and you're instantly interested in taking potentially some business going forward. So that's a really important tip, looking as if you really do want to connect with that person and the purpose of being there, because let's face it, everybody's there. When you're at that event, really assess prior. Often networking events will send a list of people that are going to be there prior to the event. If they do, that's great, because you can have a look at the type of people that are going to be attending, and you can ask yourself, who would I like to actually connect with, and who would I make it a goal? So if you see those people, not in a stalkerish way, obviously, but don't be shy going up to them and saying, look, I saw your name was on the list. I'm really excited to talk to you because I think there's opportunity for us to do something together. I work here, and I'm really interested in what you're doing. I've seen that you've maybe posted some articles online that I've read that have been of interest. I see that you've obtained this new project. Whatever the talking points are, do a little bit of research prior to the event so that when you are talking to those people that you want to target, you've got something to say. So the other thing to do, and most importantly, is once we're home from these networking events or back in the office, whatever time of day they are, make sure that you do some follow up. So we don't want to be a stalker, no doubt about it. And these are all professional people. And more often than not, they're there for the same reasons as you. So in terms of follow up, I mentioned that there were business cards that you would have gathered. Connect with those people on LinkedIn first and foremost, and personalize the message on LinkedIn and say, it was really great to meet you the other night at the event. I found it really interesting. The speaker said this, or whatever the topic was. You can connect somehow with that. And then say, I'd love to connect with you on LinkedIn and let me know if you'd ever have time for a cup of coffee and we can, take this conversation a little bit further. So that's always a really important way and an easy way to connect on LinkedIn. If you're not on LinkedIn, why not? And I say that because I know it is another social media tool, but it's great from that professional perspective. We don't want to be adding professional relationships on, say, our Facebook page. And it's just a really good way of doing these follow-up opportunities in a professional manner. Everybody on LinkedIn is there for a professional sense. So that's a really important tool if you're not already on LinkedIn. And then email them or add them to your email list when you're sending some information. So I hope that you're regularly contacting your network of people with information that might be relevant to them, personalizing information to your network. That person might be somebody who you can add to a CRM where in your conversations with them that they might have been interested in. They might be a huge fan of cricket, for example, and you might work somewhere that has a corporate box with tickets to the cricket. So that would be a great opportunity to invite that person along, knowing that you have that information about them. So from a CRM perspective, add them in there, add whatever notes you can remember about your conversation with them. But if you don't have a CRM, that's fine. Add it to your email, send yourself an email, however you manage your information. But that can be a really great tool. So with that in mind, that's a quick and short list of how to approach networking events and to how to do some follow-up. And I'm conscious not to talk on these things for too long, but I will send an email with follow-up and some further information about how you might maximize your networking events going forward. Thank you.